This is Tom Fox. Gil and Andrew are on assignment this week, so I'm going to take a solo turn for the Kerrville Weekly News for the week ending May 18. Our first story is that the city of Kerrville will take up a tree preservation ordinance at its June 11th meeting. The new rules will limit the removal of certain sizes and variety of trees within the Kerrville city limits, and a city spokesman said the trees in our community may fit into that protected category that are struggling, diseased, or dying, or may need to be removed. Obviously, this is in response to the Kalu Foundation cutting down the founder's tree, which raised a lot of hackles. Our next story is we have a new city council and mayor sworn in for Kerrville. Joe Herring was sworn in as Kerrville's new mayor in a special called meeting of the Kerrville City Council. Brenda Hughes returned as council member for Place 4, and Kent McKinney came to the diocese as council member for Place 3. Joe Herring first served as mayor of Kerrville over 30 years ago, and Judy Eichner, of course, has retired. Next story is the inaugural class of the Kerrville Citizens Academy finished on May 9th after completing the comprehensive 8-week program aimed at providing a better understanding of the city's operations and wide range of services it offers. Each session lasted 2 hours and culminated in a tour of the Butt Holsworth Memorial Library and a briefing on Kerrville Parks and its recreation department. So the class will be held again next year, and if you're a Kerrville resident, I would encourage you to check out the Kerrville Citizens Academy. Our next story is that the county has approved fireworks sale for Memorial Day. The Kerr County Commissioners Court approved the sale of fireworks to the public in celebration of Memorial Day. Rich Paiz was the only vote against it. The approval came after the court unanimously approved the renewal of the county's burn ban. Although this may appear contradictory, the burn ban and the sale of fireworks can be approved at the same time because the 4 commissioners are able to lift the burn ban in each of the precincts throughout the year as weather and land conditions permit. Of course, right now we've had a little bit of rain, so we can have fireworks for Memorial Day. Of course, put your dogs and pets in a safe place because they're going to be scared to death. And our final story comes to us about the Hill Country Youth Ranch, which for more than 45 years has been providing a safe, loving space for children in need. Each year, the month of May is recognized as Foster Care Awareness Month, and Kerr County's paragons for foster care is the Hill Country Youth Ranch in Ingram. It was founded in 1977 by Gary Pryor to carry out his calling to serve abused and abandoned children. The mission of the Hill Country Youth Ranch is to provide a safe, loving, life-enhancing Christian environment for children and young adults who have suffered trauma from abuse or neglect. According to the Hill Country Youth Ranch's website, Pryor was involved with abused and abandoned children beginning in 1972, when at his daycare center in Portland, a mother left a 2-year-old for which she did not return. Since that time, Pryor and his team have worked tirelessly to better the lives of children in foster care system and improve the services delivered to them. So shout out for the Hill Country Youth Ranch. It's going to be a wonderful, if hot, weekend in Kerrville, and I hope you'll take the time to check out a couple of great art exhibits that are going on. The first one is at the Museum of Western Art, which is having their annual exhibit of featured artists. There's numerous items for sale, so check those out. And the Hill Country Arts Foundation is having a watercolor exhibit. Also, the Hill Country Arts Foundation is looking for Texas-based artists to participate in the 2024 Texas Arts and Crafts Fair. Applications are being accepted through July 15th for this year's event, which will be the 52nd of the fair. It's moving in time this year. Previously had been in mid-September. Well, now it will be November 2 and 3 on the HCAF grounds. There will be wine tasting, fair under the lights, and a return of public mural painting for all visitors to participate in. It's a really great event. If you're an artist, I hope you will consider showing at this event. And I hope you have a great and safe weekend, and we'll visit with you next week on the Kerrville Weekly News. This is Tom Fox. I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Kerrville Weekly News Roundup. This podcast is a production of the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. If you've enjoyed this podcast, I hope you will subscribe or rate and review this podcast wherever great podcasts are listened to. I hope you'll join Gilbert, Andrew, and myself next week where we take a look at some of the top stories from Kerrville and the surrounding Hill Country area. Thanks so much for listening.